Countdown. Hi, Colton.
What is up, Will?
Living the dream as per usual. How about you? How was your vacay? Your little vacay?
Well, trip was fun, dude. Trip was fun. Yeah. It's a good time. Can't really complain. But enough of me. I feel like every show is about me. You got yourself a nice little interview, so I'm gonna give you a shout out to Will here.
I know.
So
I had an interview with.
I hope you hit a home run on that, dude.
I had an interview with the NFL on Friday night, so we'll see what ends up going on with that. But it's for a game day associate producer, so I would somehow manage to fly to LA every week for it if I get it. So, hey, first interview after 350 attempts of getting rejected. Can't complain about that. But the biggest news, Colton, there's football on this week. Although it's going to be Prison Mike Benvenucci against, I am drawing a blank, Jarvis Jones. I don't know, Steelers backup. Drawing a complete blank, butchering Mason Rudolph.
We'll give it a shot, though.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Do the Steelers still have the Duck Hunter too?
Nah, he's gone. He's in the Rams. He's with the Rams. They got Dwayne Haskins, boy. That's who I'm excited to see.
Hey, but we survived an off season. Now there's football every single week between college and regular season, all the way through President's Day weekend. But ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Play Action Podcast.
This is the Play Action Podcast featuring Will.
It's not every time. It's not every time.
Every time.
Featuring Colton.
The guy, if you go back into our division thing, this guy had the Jets.
I picked the Jets to win.
For no what reason?
Yeah.
Featuring a whole lot of arguing.
Playoffs, we're gonna win the division.
Listen. You need to
to
realize my thinking process here because the Bills.
There is no thinking process.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
And I told people the Steelers were going to be decent. I didn't have the Steelers like, oh, they're godly. No, I was realistic. You were very unrealistic with the Jets.
Colton,
and guess who was right and guess who was wrong, Will? You were dead wrong about the Jets. I was dead right about Goat Allen and the Bills. And I was right about the Steelers. Come on now.
It puts a smile on my face.
Go Allen and the Bills, man.
After
see how much I've gotten on the wagon with Josh Allen. That's kind of impressive, huh?
After going from the Russ Seahawks wagon to getting screwed out of a bet to go Allen now. Did they screw you at one point last year? I feel like they did at one point. You kind of were upset with the
Seattle versus Buffalo, and Buffalo, didn't let Russ cook. So
we're still right about the Steelers.
Yeah, everyone thought they were going to be like third in division. So I think I was right. They went on to win the division and started 11-0. Yeah. Yes, I think I was, Josh. Thank you very much. So thank you, dude. Oh, hold on this side. Hold on. See, you got me confused here with this whole camera thing.
But ladies and gentlemen, episode 38 of the Play Action Podcast is live. And if you're watching right now, thank you for tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're listening to us after on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast platforms, thank you for tuning in. Listen, you can have comment in the comment section on the side here. We'll feature your comment right here, just like Josh, who was on an earlier episode here. Started 11-0.
Yeah. What are we getting at here? Are we acting silly over here? Are you going to be the guy that tells me they're not going to be good again this year, Josh? Because they will be. But hold on. Why are we talking Steelers? Last time I checked, this is the AFC East.
It is the AFC East, and we're going to be reeling in our Patriots fan who also has a podcast, Between the Benches JD. You can find it on Instagram at Between the Benches JD, and also wherever you find your podcast platforms. We have Sir Dominic. Sir Dominic, hello.
Hello. What a phenomenal first 5 minutes. I didn't know any of that was coming at all. That was fantastic. That intro was so great.
This show is a disaster, Dom. This is what this is. This is what it turns to.
We're giving you Dom. Okay, Josh, we got Dom. Okay.
I'm really excited for that arguing. That arguing really brought me back to last year, and it was fun, and I'm so excited for this year.
But, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and break down into the AFC East. So if you've watched the last 3 episodes, we start from the worst team and we end with the division winner.
Shocker. Wow.
I know. Wow.
Look who we're starting with. Surprise, surprise. Wow. The team that last time I checked and we did the division last year, they have a shot at making the playoffs. Yikes. Wow. You were dead wrong. And here we are, a lottery pick time, and Zach Wilson's a quarterback.
From what I heard, Adam Gase is going to be reinstated as Jets head coach at some point in August. I think it's August 10th, something like that, apparently, per source. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Jets, after having arguably the worst offense last year, not worse in passing, the worst offense ever, 3rd and 13, draws up the middle, wide receiver screens on 2nd and long. Robert Saleh, not Greg Saleh, as I said last week, Colton. I corrected myself, caught myself there.
This is a bad time for a Jets fan out here. This guy's proving all the Jets fans wrong. What a big fan he is, and gets his own coach wrong. And just don't predict the Jets this year. Just for your own good. You said playoffs last season. Yeah, they finished one of the worst teams in football. Should have been the worst team, and really knew how to blow games. So let's just talk positivity of the future for the Jets here, and let's not make any bold predictions because, this is gonna be another. I'm gonna play this one back at the end of the season. Yikes moment. So let's be smart here, all right?
So first 4 picks, the Jets this draft, they bring in Zach Wilson. They trade up 10 spots to get Vera Tucker out of USC. 2nd round, they get Elijah Moore. Then they also draft Michael Carter, a very solid 4-piece rookie crew. They end up getting in the NFL draft. They also bring in, the likes of Keelan Cole. They get Jamison Crowder back on a very low contract. Tevin Coleman. The list goes on and on. The Jets right now, they're very youthful. Everyone's loving the team, unlike last year where players were coming out talking everything about Adam Gase and Joe Douglas. Everyone's kind of coming together. They're very different feel on the Jets. And also Morgan Moses they get from Washington after they signed, I believe, Charles Leno from the Chicago Bears. What are your guys' thoughts on the Jets trying to go into this year? And maybe we could see what happens with Zach Wilson and company.
I'm going to let our guest go first on this one.
He's trying to think of everything correct here.
Well, no, I'm trying to think of how I feel about this team. I feel like maybe for the first time in a while for the Jets, this could actually be the start of something stable eventually. I do feel like Zach Wilson will have more of a home for the Jets than Sam Darnold did over time. I feel like this is a pretty decent start. You don't have a number 1 receiver. Hard to say that there's like a true number 2 receiver.
But the thing is, though, they don't need a number 1 receiver. They have a bunch of solid receivers. Elijah Moore's going to end up being a stud. I believe he was from Ole Miss. He's going to end up being a monster in his future. Jamison Crowder is one of the best slot guys in football. And Corey Davis called that before this offseason. I said he's going to be a Jet, and ironically, he is a Jet. So they don't need a number 1 receiver. They have a bunch, like 4. Denzel Mims should take a step 2. Last year's pick out of Baylor. So they don't need a number 1 receiver in my pick, Dom. I think they have
I don't
4
think
or
so.
5 collective receivers.
And I don't think this is a year you need to, worry too much about. This is just a good start, I think, for the Jets, which could eventually result in something, honestly. I mean, this isn't the best offense we're going to talk about today by far, but I actually like this Jets team for the future for you, Will.
And something to also bring back on, I mean, Saleh brought in basically every single assistant and coordinator that the 49ers had. They had to start from complete scratch over in the Bay Area. So really, this is just a West Coast offense they're running. Zach Wilson's going to be really passing the ball. I think Michael Carter might be the day 1 running back because he's having a fantastic camp. So is Elijah Moore. Vera Tucker, he got hurt today. He's a hurt pec, but he's expected to make 100% recovery in time. But I think Denzel Mims might be the odd guy out in the receiving core because I went a little bit of history digging with the 49ers, and oddly enough, they haven't played receivers that were over 6'1" in their offense at all. So you had like Ayuk, you had Emmanuel Sanders, Marquise Goodwin, you had a bunch of players that were 5'11" and shorter. And really, Corey Davis, I think he's just about 6 foot. Jamison Crowder, 5'11". Keelan Cole, 5'11". Elijah Moore, I think, is 5'9".
Yeah, okay.
They're
Corey Davis, just so you know, is like pushing 6'4".
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
There's
you know
no
what?
way.
No,
There's
look it up,
no
look it
way.
up. Look
I
it up,
got it.
look
I'm
up.
looking it up. You guys just keep talking. Oh,
I've had
my
this. You know
goodness.
why I specifically thought of this? I've had this conversation before. That's why, because I thought he
No
was smaller
way.
than he's listed as.
6'3". What?
6'3". Who would have thought? Not me, man. Who would've
Like,
All
thought?
right,
he
I think I'm
doesn't
gonna end
play
this
that
episode
way.
here.
He
My entire day's ruined. I thought this guy was like 6 foot at most. I didn't think he was 6'3".
I've always thought that too, and I had this conversation with someone, and it went the same way. So I get it.
But I really think Denzel Mims
Impressive.
might be on
Guest
the
comes on here and comes in swinging with some facts, and we almost balked at him, and he's right on the
put
head
me in
on
my
that one.
place. But as a Jet fan, I'm loving the offensive line. Though Mekhi Becton, obviously Vera Tucker, McGovern, Greg Van Rotten, and then Morgan Moses. You have Dan Feeney, who's kind of fighting for it, and also Cameron Clark. I believe his season's done. He had a spinal injury at practice yesterday, taken out on a backboard ambulance. So prayers up to him. He's expected to make a full recovery. So we'll see what the Jets end up doing with him there. Jets offense, I think Zach Wilson might be passing a little bit more than a traditional rookie would, but we'll be seeing this stuff as it comes along.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get my take on the Jets offense.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
Here,
cool.
here. Get your take. Get your take.
That's all cool. That's
I
great.
want my feelings hurt right now. You hurt my feelings last year this time, so hurt them again.
You're a smart guy, but what's it called? Where am I going with this? I think the Jets have a offense for the future. Dom kind of said it. This is kind of what you need to see going the next 5 years down the road. I think Zach Wilson's the second best quarterback in the draft. Honestly, might even be the first on some of my mind here when I talk about him and Trevor Lawrence. Trey Lance has looked really good in camp. I think Zach Wilson has the potential to be really, really good for the Jets in the future as long as he do the right thing, and it looks like they already have. They traded back up, got themselves the best guard available in the draft, and Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. Morgan Moses comes in, fills the right side. You know what you're getting, Mekhi Becton last year out of Louisville. And like I said, they have really solid receivers. Denzel Mims should be really, really good this year. Had sparks last season. Elijah Moore looks really, really good so far. Their second-round pick, and he had potential to be a first-round pick, so they got a steal there. Michael Carter coming out of North Carolina, one of the best running backs in the draft. They had a really good draft, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think this team is going to be really good in like 4 years. It might even be sooner than that. It really depends on the quarterback, but he has some weapons around him, which is always good. Darnold didn't have that luxury, and he has that now. So I think this offense definitely has a bright future. And with a guy like Robert Saleh or Greg for Will, he's got a solid defense already, a nice solid cornerstone. See what CJ Mosley brings this year as we get into the defense here.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction too, Colin. I say Mekhi Becton Pro Bowl. Mekhi Becton Pro Bowl.
Okay, I thought you were saying something really
Super Bowl.
dumb yeah, I thought you were saying something really dumb for a second. But yeah, he's gonna be a Pro Bowler this year. I don't disagree with me on that.
Defense. I love the front seven. You have CJ Mosley, who's returning 100% healthy for the most part after hurting his groin all the way back in 2019, avoided last year with the whole COVID situation. You bring in a guy like Jared Davis out of Detroit. Blake Cashman, I believe, was your 4th-round pick out of Minnesota in 2019. I like the front seven. The back end, I mean, you have Marcus May, you have Joyner. Love the two. Corners, very, very, very youthful. Bless Austin. You have Bryce Hall out of Virginia, who I believe was supposed to be a higher pick in 2020. But, hey, I'm kind of really digging this team, especially the front seven, as you saw what Saleh ran. Saleh was always top 5, top 10 in sacks every single season. So bringing in a guy like Carl Lawson, who gets the pressures, Sheldon Rankins, who had a great career over in New Orleans, Vinny Curry for that veteran presence. You have a very solid piece there. And also, can't forget Quinn Williams. Bless you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, their front is solid. From the linebacker position on is where I have a lot of questions. Again, you can't do it all in one draft and one offseason. So it's a really good start, and it starts up in the trenches. They address the offensive line. They address the defensive line. Some older guys there, Vinny Curry kind of on the other side. Sheldon Rankins, I believe, is up there in age. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's up there.
He's about 30.
Yeah, he's still a solid player, though. So I like the moves. I think they spent a little too much on Carl Lawson, my personal take on the matter. But CJ Mosley back finally after like 2 years, it feels like, of not playing football. They got to re-sign Marcus May. Ashton Davis was I believe, 3rd or 4th round pick last year out of California. He had some sparks last year for them. So the back end has some young talent. That's where you look into these next few drafts. They might address the corner position and linebacker a little more. You can't do it all in one draft and one free agency. So I like the way it's going. They're in the right direction. I think they're still young and they'll get their wounds this year. And there's a lot to be excited for if you're a Jets fan. Just please don't blow it out of the water like Will did last year. Just let the tide take its course here and see what happens, because there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's hard to just simply judge a team that's in progress of building like the Jets are. I mean, you look at this defense and like you guys said, half of it is in a good place and somewhat complete, and the other half is just going to be future progress, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't expect them to be stopping too much defensively this year, but I'm sure they'll have good games, maybe a couple standout players and whatnot. But, I mean, this is a team in progress. I mean, we are where we are with this team, and you guys said it all, basically, so.
Well, let's shift from the Jets. Let's go into your Patriots. Let's go into New England, where the Patriots, they did a lot of cleaning up from the 2020 draft, having to fix a lot of stuff up. They spent the most money in free agency probably in the 29 career of the current free agency period. They go out, they draft Mac Jones out of Alabama with the 15th overall selection. You sign Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. You trade back for, I believe, Trent Brown, who was traded to Houston. Now he leaves Houston. Oh, no, that was Oakland he was traded to. That was Cameron Fleming, who was traded to Houston. But we got some stuff going on in the comments. Dom, do you have a Brady Pats jersey?
Of course.
Josh starting stuff already in the comments.
Of course.
But what I'm expecting from this Patriots offense is I'm not expecting Mac Jones to play. If anything, not very much. I think this is still Cam Newton's offense. They built for Cam Newton because obviously in Carolina, his number one target, Greg Olsen. So they went out and they got Hunter Henry. They got Jonnu Smith. They fixed everything they really messed up last year.
I don't know. New England doesn't go out and spend money, and they did. Yeah, I'm gonna let the man talk about his team last. That's why I cut him off here. I don't. God, I still don't love this team. I don't. I think they spent a lot of money on guys that aren't worth the money. Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. Those are you can draft receivers. I mean, I know New England can't draft them. The man right there sitting second on the depth chart wants out. So that tells you all you need to know. First round pick out of Arizona State, N'Keal Harry wants out of New England. I do love the Mac Jones pick. It's a Josh McDaniels ran offense. How did it work with Tom Brady, who's very similar to Mac Jones type of player coming out of college? Very precise, very accurate with the ball. Doesn't have the best deep arm, but he can get the ball there if necessary. It kind of fell into their lap. Kind of thought, oh, my God, they're going to have to trade up to get him. No, he fell to them. The offensive line's still good. It's just I don't love the moves at receiver. I thought there was a little too much money thrown at Kendrick Bourne and Aguilar. I love the tight end set. Jeez Louise, that's kind of disgusting. Reminds me of Gronk and Hernandez all over again here. So we'll see. I think they're going to be a real problem once they get in the red zone. But the thing is, can they get in the red zone? How often they be able to get down the field with that? The running backs are kind of weak. Sony Michel had some sparks, hasn't really gotten better in any shape or form. I do like Damian Harris, but again, it's just God. I think Cam Newton has some restrictions, and I think that is what hurts his offense. But at the same time, this isn't Cam Newton's team for the next 5 years. It's the man sitting in the wings, waiting to get his opportunity. So I wish they didn't blow all the money on receivers like they did, but I do love the tight ends. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry are absolutely disgusting. I think you're going to see some trick plays there for Jonnu Smith's big self getting out. some run plays, kind of like what you saw with some jet sweeps with Chase Claypool with the Steelers. I think you might see some of that with Jonnu Smith with some creativity because this guy is ginormous and can move. So we'll see. Once they get in the red zone, they're going to be really scary to stop, to be honest with you. But the Nelson Aguilar thing, he's to get down the field and get it to him. I don't think Cam can get it to him is my problem here. So, and what has Nelson Aguilar proved? He's been cut. He's been ran out of town in Philly. He had a really good season with the Raiders. I'm going to give him his credit. But I just thought there was a little too much money thrown at a guy who's had one good year, and Kendrick Bourne, who, if you ask any other just normal football fan, they're going to play. If you ask any normal fan on the street, who Kendrick Bourne play for, they're gonna have no idea. I believe it's San Francisco.
Yes.
But if you ask any normal fan, they're probably gonna have no idea. So that tells you I need to know. Again, it wasn't outrageous money at Kendrick Bourne, but it's still
there are better targets on the market.
Yeah, I don't. Again, it's a solid roster. I just don't think they're going to be able to move the ball up and down the field. But once they're in the red zone, you're not stopping. They're going to score. I think they're going to have a high touchdown percentage in the red zone, but I don't. There's just nothing here that makes me love this offense. The line's good. Cam Newton's a question mark for me, man. He can't throw it down the field, and the receivers aren't good. They should have gotten the sweepstakes to get Julio Jones. They should have been kicking tires to get themselves a legit receiver. So that's my problem with this roster with the offense.
Trust me, I was praying for the Julio one. I was praying for the Julio one, and I believe it truly came down to us and the Titans. But I mean, if I'm Julio, Titans was the way to go. Nonetheless, I mean, the thing with Cam, I mean, I'm hopeful, but there's no long term there at all. I mean, it's not. I kind of expect him to play half the season, and that's kind of all I want him to play. If you remember last year, week 1, 2, and 3, before the whole COVID thing happened with him and whatnot, those 3 weeks, he kind of balled out a little bit. And if you remember, the Seahawks were phenomenal at the beginning of last year. I mean, we were talking is this the best team right now in football? And it came down to 1 yard with Cam Newton to beat the Seahawks, I think, week 2 or week 3. And Cam Newton fell short literally 1 yard of beating the Seahawks. So he had it in him. And then we kind of started shaking things up. He had COVID and whatnot, and it went downhill from there. So I'm hoping, another season goes by. He knows these guys a little bit better. They were doing a lot of stuff in the offseason away from the organization together with these receivers and tight ends and quarterbacks. I mean, I know they had a whole session in California, right after we acquired Hunter Henry, and maybe right after the draft. I think it was Stidham and another quarterback that was with these guys. So this group has been together longer than just camp. So, I mean, I got to hope that's got to build something. And like you said, the offensive line is good. It's a good offensive line. So that's just stable. And the running back situation, I'm really not too worried about. Damian Harris, I think there's a lot there. I mean, he's not going to be too exciting. He's not going to be a top running back in the league, but I like his potential. Sony Michel, I don't know what the situation is with that. I kind of think it's a matter of time before we move on from that one. And James White is still here. James White has been here. You look at this offense, and James White is a name that's been here maybe longer than every single person on this offense. So that's nice. And you know how much Josh likes to include James White in the offense. So I don't know. I think this team, Cam Newton's got to keep these throws short because, like you said, anything long is just – I don't look forward to that.
Best receiver is Henry.
That's coming from
bueno.
a Giants fan. I don't even want to respond to Josh on that one. And this kid, this Gunner, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. As Patriots fans, we literally have just referred to him as Gunner. The dude, we're just excited about him. He was actually so exciting last year as a kick returner. And there's a decent amount of potential there for a guy that has nothing to lose and almost no expectations. there might be a little bit of future there with him. But yeah, like you said, it's a lack of receiver. But whatever. I'm in a place where we got nothing to lose this year. Let's see some Mac Jones. Let's see if Cam has something in him, and we're in it. So
defensively, the defense is still still an elite unit. It's still, top 5 in this league. There's no questions about it. You have Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, top 3 cornerback duo in the league. Depending on who you talk to, could be 1, could be 2, could be 3. I think it's in the top 3 personally. But the rest of the defense, they do bring back, what's his name, Kyle Van Noy from Miami. He had a hip injury, so he comes back. You have Donta Hightower. You bring back 7 of these guys that, with COVID, and they didn't want to play during COVID. You bring back 7 of those people, and this defense will still really go with 7 starters out. Belichick made the most of it. And you also bring in a guy like Henry Anderson. You spend a lot on Judon to come back. Jalen Mills, you sign from, I believe, Philadelphia. Devin McCourty, I think, signs an extension. This is still a very good unit. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah. I think they're third in the division. That's kind of where I think this team is. And I can't really. I'm just going to repeat myself earlier. It's third in the division.
I think they could be second. I mean, with the Dolphins, if Tua is going to have shaky play, I mean, I know Tua had very good play last year, but if Tua is shaky at all, they only have Jacoby Brissett. You don't have Fitzmagic behind him to save the day.
They're going to rock with Tua. They're finishing second in the division, and Buffalo will be finishing first. It's going to be the same thing. Honestly, Jets might finish third. I don't love this Patriots team. I don't. And it's the offense. The defense is still solid. You're getting Officer Hightower back. What's his name retired? I'm forgetting
Chung.
his name. Yeah,
Mr.
Mr. Cocaine, Mr. Cocaine guy. Everyone acts like that wasn't a thing with him, but yeah. It's really the offense that kills me for this team. It really does. There's no stretching of the field. You're gonna have to play in the box, and that's kind of, if you can play in the box, you're gonna win. You're gonna most likely beat them as long as you don't turn the ball over yourself. It's kind of how I feel on this team.
What are your thoughts on it, Dom?
I just really like the pass defense all the way around. I mean, Jalen Mills, I don't know what to expect with that one, but whatever. I like it, I guess, that we signed him. I didn't think it was super necessary, but okay. I'm excited to see what comes out of that. And like you said, Stephon Gilmore and J.C. Jackson are insane. Jonathan Jones. It's a pretty deep D-back group. And then the linebackers are good. Kyle Van Noy, he didn't do much, I don't think, really, in Miami, but we loved him in New England. And I thought he was awesome in New England. So I'm really excited to have him back. Chase Winovich is another one, pass rusher, who I'm really excited for this year. I think we still have yet to see the best in his career. It's only 2-3 years old now. But other than that, I mean, this is a solid defense, straight up and down. It's solid all the way from one end to the other. Judon this year now. So, yeah.
We're going to take a little quick break here. So on Sundays, we do a show together. We do a show together. And, well, haven't showed this clip in a few weeks since Josh was on, but we may as well play the promo right now. So here's the coming 5 weeks on September 12th. Off on, if you're not frozen.
I'm not here now?
It's sound quality.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Yes, you're here, but you're very spaced out there, my man, in Oklahoma.
Oh, no, I'm driving him.
Okay. That is not how that we I absolutely love that promo. That's my favorite thing I've ever made in my life.
I can't believe
Josh is just Josh. There's nothing to really point out about Josh. He's in the comments talking some random players that we've never heard about. He's just going off in here. He's talking about, some running back, 4th string running back that might get cut from New England.
Oh my gosh! Again, why are we posting this? Well, we want to take this thing serious, not Lord Josh over here who spaced out like he just was in that clip. Oh my!
It's just,
He was the
Josh was on a
wild
different
card.
planet.
He brought a chicken on the show once. Remember that?
He brought his own
Yes.
chicken.
Oh,
It was great.
God.
A live chicken. So
All right, let's take our talents to South Beach like LeBron did 10 years ago, and let's look at the entire Dolphins offense. They were 1 win away from making the playoffs last year on just such a magical run. I love this team. I love everything about this team. Although all their tight ends are currently on the COVID reserve list due to the tight ends coach getting COVID, so that's at least it happens now. You don't have to worry about it during the season. Hopefully, knock on wood there. But Tua is the man. Tua is the man for Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins. And I know you had Lee Steinberg on in January, Colton, and you asked him the same. You asked him same thing. Is Tua the guy? And he, to sum up a quote all the way down, he said that he is their man. So no need to worry about Deshaun Watson and any other veteran quarterbacks, Jimmy G, even potentially Phillip Rivers. No need to worry about that. Tua's the man in South Beach.
Yeah, and so far he looks good in camp. We'll see how that works out long-term wise, but I do believe Tua is the guy. Watch him coming out of Alabama. There was kind of like no ifs, ands, or buts. He's the number one guy. Then the injury happens, and it's like, oh, maybe not. And now we're all questioning Tua now for some reason. So we'll see how this season goes. First full training camp. It's his team. No Fitzmagic behind him, so you got to go full send with it. Defense is still really good. Receivers, disgusting. Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, Devontae Parker. Yeah, hello. And Preston Williams. Yeah, okay. Jakeem Grant still solid.
Isaiah Ford, Albert Wilson. You got the speedy guys.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of difficult to who makes this team because everyone on this team last year has at least one reception, going from really the deep guys like Mac Hollins catching that incredible Fitzmagic throw against the Las Vegas Raiders to, Isaiah Ford, Hearns, Wilson. Like, everyone played a big factor last year into making that team a 10-win team from a dumpster fire a year prior.
And the offensive line's getting a little bit better piece by piece. Austin Jackson drafted with the Minka pick last year, or the year prior, from USC, I believe. Mike Gesicki, local guy out here, so we definitely know what he is. It comes down to Tua, really, is what it is. Tua's going to be their ceiling on this team, see where it takes them. They have the potential to literally be a problem in the AFC if Tua plays well. Why do I feel like they got another running back? Am I like stupid?
They got that guy who used to play on the 49ers. I am drawing a blank on his name.
Breida? They don't have Breida still, right?
I think they still have Breida. I think Breida might still be on there.
No, I must be confusing with them possibly taking Najee in the draft. I thought they picked up someone. I see Malcolm Brown. I know they picked him up. I'm talking about like an actual like legit back to like kick out Myles Gaskin. But I thought they did. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out here thinking of Lord knows what. But Jalen Waddle. Yeah, okay. Have fun with this.
You have Ahmed and Gaskin. I mean, Gaskin proved his worth last year, and Ahmed stepped right into his role when Gaskin couldn't play. They got two very youthful backs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know what kind of back they need. They need a guy who's a difference maker. So we'll see what happens come the deadline. They might go out and go shopping for a running back around the deadline. Just add another legit back, depending what comes available, what teams are struggling, and you can come knocking on the door. But
Kerryon Johnson's still available.
No, he's in Philly, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's in Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
They got Le'Veon Bell available.
Please.
Le'Veon Bell.
Well, Le'Veon fits very perfectly in South Beach.
He kind of does. I don't think that'd be a bad play, but he hasn't looked the same. So, like, honestly, I don't know what Le'Veon Bell is, to be honest, at this rate in his career. But I think Myles Gaskin does deserve a shot at the number one back here. But I feel like they signed someone. I'm gonna end up doing some research on this. I'm gonna. As you guys are talking, I really believe they got another running back here. I feel like I'm like losing my mind over this one, but this team has a lot of potential. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say.
Any other thoughts on the offense, Dom?
I think this is honestly as good as you could have possibly done in one offseason to give Tua the best possible chance to succeed. I'd like to see the offensive line maybe get better over time, and that's an overtime thing. But this is the best receiving group I think you could have given Tua, aside from guys like Julio, obviously. This is nothing but potential for Tua. It's all about that to me. It's all about how Tua's going to do this year. I mean, even then, if he drops the ball or injured or something, Jacoby's a solid backup. We saw what happened when Andrew Luck retired. Jacoby put the team on his shoulder for a whole year, and that year was not bad. Certainly was not bad. So it's not a bad backup. I mean, I know there was the whole Fitzmagic thing, as being the backup, and people were excited about that, but I really don't think Jacoby's much worse than that either.
Jacoby's the best backup quarterback you could have gotten in free agency.
100%. So I do think this is the best possible team you could have given Tua. And it's all about that. It's all about how he's going to do this year. So
I must have been just confusing myself over here. There's no other running back. It's Myles Gaskin. So Lord knows what was going on in my head. I was in Josh realm, but I think I was confusing myself with Najee Harris, to be honest with you. I think that's what was going on.
This certainly isn't, though, a bad running back group. Like, I do like this running back group.
Not at all.
I know what you mean, though. There's no difference maker.
But I think what I'm confusing is literally when you watch the stuff with the draft, other than the Steelers being locked to Najee, it was the Dolphins at 18. That's kind of where it was like, all right, we were talking when we were on draft night when I was on Steeler Nation. It was like, get through the Dolphins pick, and if he gets through there, they're golden. They're going to get him. So I think that's what was confusing myself, is it was either going to get Etienne for the Dolphins or Najee, and they stuck with Gaskin, which I believe he deserves a shot this season, see what happens. Worst case, you address it next year, because if Tua plays well, this is going to be one of those draft a running back, because that's kind of the only need, pretty much, honestly. So that's where I got myself. So
I was going to space through and get this done. Okay. Defense, you have Xavier Howard, who's kind of with the whole contract negotiation. He has said he wants to get traded, but now he doesn't want to get traded. He wants to get an extension with the team. Pair him with Byron Jones out of Dallas. You got a very, very good secondary with Eric Rowe and Javon Holland in the back end.
This is the best secondary in football. It's not a question. I know the Rams secondary is up there. This is the best secondary in football. We're not even talking about their back end here with Jason McCourty as depth. And, oh, my gosh, I'm not going to try to pronounce the kid's name. He was at Auburn. I believe they drafted him last year. I'm not even going to try to go and say his name, but yeah, this back end's disgusting. There's depth all over the place. They could play four corners deep, and good luck. Only thing is their front. I mean, that's my only I wish they had a little more pressure up front, but they got enough last season, and they bring in Jalen Phillips, I believe, is their number one draft pick, one of their first-round draft picks out of the U. Which was reported to be the best edge rusher when he's healthy in the game. So he was a little banged up last year for Miami. But in parallel with Jerome Baker from Ohio State, there's no going into the secondary. It's literally disgusting. Up there with the Giants secondary where it's like talent all over the place. Same with the Patriots secondary. It's literally just there's talent oozing all over the place in this back end, and yeah, good luck, everybody trying to throw on this team. So just good luck. Be smart with your decision making, because there's guys that are going to take advantage all over the secondary.
You got any comment on it, Dom, or are you just vibing?
Honestly, I haven't spent much time looking at this defense whatsoever. I really haven't, and it's not a defense I want to be good personally. So I never like playing Miami because it never goes well. Or half the time it does, and half the time it just magically doesn't, even when the Patriots were top of the league. So it's a good defense. I mean, it's really not a bad team. It certainly isn't. You compare this to a Miami team 2 years ago, and it's
Miami team 2 years ago was a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, this is so different.
And, well, let's finish this off. Let's go into Bills Mafia that apparently wants to turn to the Austin Mafia because they want to have the fans fund a $1.5 billion tax-paid stadium, and the Bills are threatening to leave unless they get their new stadium. So New Era Stadium, I think that's still it. I think it may have changed again, but Austin, Texas could be the site for the new Bills if, for some reason, the NFL will allow this to happen. That's where we start out with here.
Let's not botch that because this is clearly a team made for Buffalo. It's got that Buffalo grit. Let's not be dumb here. But yeah, going on to what's going on here with this roster. Yeah, I love Buffalo, man.
Good luck.
I love Josh
good luck.
Allen. I love Josh Allen so much. Stephon Diggs finally getting like the Diggs treatment that he deserves because yeah, he's disgusting. That Maryland Terrapin is disgusting. They have another number 2 receiver to pair along with him, Emmanuel Sanders. I really like what this team is. It's there. It is literally there. If their defense can figure it out and be a little more consistent.
Running back too. I'm not a fan of Singletary.
This might be one of those teams at the deadline that I'm talking about. Just like who the heck was this talking about?
Miami.
Yes. Not even really Miami. I think it was what was I talking? Oh my god, it might have been Miami. I'm losing my mind out here for some reason today.
You said Gaskin was bad, but you're like, oh, I think Gaskin could be a good number 1 guy.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. I'm talking next year with the Dolphins, this year with the Bills. If Buffalo is there, which I believe they will be, they're up there with Kansas City for this AFC title. They need a running back. Moss could be the guy. Moss was really solid at times last year for them. Now that he's got his first offseason in, see what he turns into be. That was their pick, I believe, last year. It wasn't first round. I think it might have been like third or fourth. Third or fourth. Is he from Utah? I'm trying to think where Zach Moss is from. It's irrelevant, but I believe he's from one of those schools. Yeah, he's got potential to take over this backfield. We'll see what happens. I haven't really paid attention to Buffalo camp, but he had the potential to be really good. Singletary's kind of taken a loss of a step, and the receiving core is really good again. McKenzie had some sparks last year. Gabriel Davis, same thing. And you know what you're getting from Diggs and Sanders, veteran guys. Croy Sanders more on the vet side of things, and you know what you're getting from Cole Beasley, one of the best slot receivers in the game. So it's disgusting again. So and the offensive line's not bad. So yeah.
I see one name on here. I'm not sure if this is one of Aaron Rodgers' guys that got cut, but Jake Kumara, was he a former Packer?
You're asking.
It sounds familiar.
It's not a guy that's going to make impacts, so it's not really. I think those 3 guys are going to lead this horse. McKenzie to spread the field out a little bit more. Gabriel Davis, the same thing. They got one of the best route runners in the game, Stephon Diggs. So there's that. So Miami's got the secondary to kind of compete with this team. I'm really excited for this division, to be honest with you. Miami has the potential to be really good. They got really, really good receivers and a nice tight end. That's what this team kind of needs is a receiver and tight end. I do like Dawson Knox. Was he a rookie last season?
I think he was like a 6th or 7th year.
Really? I didn't think Dawson Knox was that old.
Yeah, but, I think he's been around, right?
Really? All right. Well,
yeah,
I just never heard of him until last year because they lost what's his name? That's I believe on the Jets or
Oh no, you know what? To be honest, Colton, you might be completely right. The dude's 24 years old.
Yeah,
certainly has not been in the league for 7 years.
Yeah, I think he might be in his 2nd or 3rd year. He kind of came on the scene last year, not like big on the scene, but and they got Jacob Hollister. I believe he played for the Seahawks. I believe.
Yes,
played for the Patriots at one point.
Their tight ends aren't leverable here. Let's see what happens with Dawson Knox in year 2 or 3, whatever year he's in. He's a younger guy. Last year was his first big year at tight end. So we'll see what happens in the next year as the lead tight end guy. But, yeah, I'm going to ooze and ah over this team because I do love the quarterback. And, the quarterback number 2, Mitchell Trubisky. But, no, seriously, Josh Allen's absolutely amazing. And it's like I told everyone this guy was going to be the best quarterback in that draft. And, oh, wow, he is. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
Sendar number 1.
So yeah. Dawson Knox is in his 3rd year, and believe it or not, his first year was even better than last year. Quietly. very quietly.
Really? So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll see. He's got to take another step because they're really close to being spoopy.
This team is just I love these receivers so much. We know we're getting, like you said, from Diggs and Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders. I think there's so much there. And Josh Allen has such a gigantic arm. So I think that's perfect. I think it's the perfect scenery for Emmanuel Sanders after the two, changes of scenery he's had in the past year and a half. And I've really, really liked him. I always liked him in Denver. So I'm glad that he's somewhere where I think that he could stay for a little bit.
And let's go to defense here. Defense, forget about it. Good luck. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, Levi Wallace just rounds out this back end. And, there's no holes on this defense. You got Jerry Hughes, who's a very good veteran. You have Ed Oliver, you draft out of, I believe, Houston 2 years ago. Mario Addison. Also, A.J. Klein, Tremaine Edmonds. Just good luck. This team is so good. They're right there.
They are. My only thing is, I wish they had a little bit more pressure. I wish they can get to the quarterback a little bit more consistent. But again, no team's perfect. Literally, if a team was perfect, then they'd win it every single year. So every team is going to have like a hole or two. They do get to the quarterback enough. So they cause enough issues where the back end doesn't have to protect long because the back end's spoopy. Yeah. Taron Johnson made some plays last year for them. Levi Wallace, same thing. And you know what Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer bring to the table. So, and Tremaine Edmonds is one of the best young middle linebackers in the game. So, yeah. So,
hey, Will.
and they got Medikevich, who's a really good special teams player as well for them. So, yeah, there's really not much to say. Ed Oliver has to keep progressing, their first-round pick out of Houston from a few years back. But, yeah, there's not much to say about this team.
Yes,
well, as a Jets fan, looking at this defense, the Miami defense, and the Patriots defense,
I wish it was 2010 again. I wish it was 2010 again. The Jets had literally the best defense. They were just that good. It makes me wish they, Cromartie, Jim Leonard, Eric Smith, Darrell Revis on that back end. I wish it was 2010 again.
These are three tough defenses.
And that's 6 games the Jets have to play against.
That's rough.
Not to mention, they have who do they play? What divisions do they play? No, they don't play the AFC West this year. I think they end up playing the South. They might be playing the AFC South, and then they play the NFC
South. NFC South. We play Brady again this year.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a little prayer, trying to wish for something. But we got one final comment. What's the weakness on the Bucks? Nothing. They got all 22 starters from the Super Bowl signed. Injuries could be the weakness. I mean, but never want to wish an injury on a player.
No, that's what it is. I mean, again, this guy's like 4 episodes late, but we kind of talked about this already. But it's literally injuries. That's kind of what it is. They're not like deep at certain positions, and that's kind of what it is. So, thanks, Josh, for being over 4 episodes late. Just go listen to our.
Oh no, that was Jacob. He had Jacob.
That's the comment.
Josh.
All right, Jacob.
But it's the Josh thing to do.
Yeah, but you do get a free pass. But just go look at our old podcast, man. We talked about this, and that's kind of what we talked about was injuries. So,
but well, let me leave it on this because Josh. Oh, not that one. Colton said there's no weaknesses. All right, well, Josh, I'm putting you in timeout. But ladies and gentlemen, that rounds out our show. Dom, if you want to talk about what you got planned going on podcast wise and all that kind of good stuff, I give you the floor.
It's just my face.
No pressure.
So hockey's going to start up again in probably 2 weeks when I come back from vacation. And To the House, our football podcast. We started our previews last week, so that's going to be consistent. And now all of our stuff is on YouTube. We go live and put it on YouTube. So, that's on Twitch. I'm not as I don't have the expertise Will has when it comes to live streaming yet. He does like 4 platforms at once, and he's got to teach me how to do that first. But yeah, so we're live on Twitch. We do hockey and football live, and then it goes on YouTube. Twitch is JD Media Network. YouTube is JD Network, so that's all on there. So yeah.
Colton, what do you got playing going on in the future? I give you the floor.
I don't really need a floor, dude. Not too much. Kind of just busting
Too
out
much? Oh no, I give you the floor.
I don't
Nothing
need the
too
floor.
much.
I don't need the floor. No, not too much. Just gonna try pointing out some more personal foul episodes, and that's kind of it, dude. And then we're just grinding out our personal foul or our play action here. So not really too much on my end, man. Radio station every once in a while now, finally. So yeah, you could take the floor off me because that's kind of it, dude. I don't really have too much going on, but this star of the show is you this week, man. Hopefully that interview and everything goes well. And I know you already had it, but like the news.
Hopefully we hear something. Hopefully we hear
something.
something.
Yeah, hope so, dude. Hope so, my man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next week there won't be a live episode, but it's going to be pre-recorded right after this, the NFC North. So unfortunately, we wish we had live comments for it, but we got to go back to basics here. But you could probably find that next Wednesday at about noon Eastern. It'll drop. And then from there, we'll be live in 2 weeks with the AFC West. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. You can follow us on all of our great platforms. Play Action Podcast over on Facebook, the Play Action Podcast on Instagram, Play Action Pod 1 over on Twitter. Find us all over the place. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music. For some reason, you can find all of us on there for whatever reason. The weirdest website you'll end up finding us on. Nothing explicit, though. Only podcasting websites. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we see you around the horn.